Hey, Eric Petras here. Welcome to the next video in my series. This series is about the three rules for a successful guitar repair business. And in the previous video that I shot for you guys, rule number one was know what customers want. So any successful business is always going to start with knowing what customers want. That way you can, prepare a menu of services. You can price out your services. You can streamline your education. You can get started in a very intelligent way. So that was rule number one. I created a workbook, and you can print this out. I'll leave the description. I'll leave the link in the description for the workbook. Print it out, and you'll have the 6 most sought after services. I got a bunch of more information in there too, and you're welcome to that. I'll leave that in the description. So rule number two, I'm going to be jumping in and out of the video screen for this, but rule number two, if you already know what customers want, then you know what customers value. That's the second rule to a successful guitar repair business. So it's not all about just knowing what they're going to ask you for, but how do they like their services? How do they like to be treated? What are they looking for in their services? It's just always integral in any business that you figure out what customers are valuing. Like in McDonald's, I always go back to that. Looking at them as an example, they knew that customers wanted hamburgers, milkshakes, French fries. And what they valued with that was that they were cheap and they were consistent and they were served fast. So that was the whole model. It had to be consistent from store to store to store. The product had to remain cheap and it had to be served fast, and they served it with a smile. And there was lots of things that they did to standardize things, but they knew what customers wanted and they knew what they valued, and then they just duplicated that over and over and over again. And that's what I'm here to teach you in this video series. More of an approach to teach you how to fish instead of just giving you fish. So anyway, here we go. Know what customers value. My name is Eric Petras. I'm the owner-operator of Nova Guitar Setups, a business I launched without any initial investment and no formal training. In 6 months, my business had more 5-star reviews than my closest competitor, and in 12 months, I had more 5-star reviews than all of my direct competitors combined. Now, how would you like to have a recurring income working with guitars? What if you didn't have to leave your house to make money anymore? What if you could work a little and make a lot of money? Does that sound good? In this training, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So we're going to go over the number 2 rule for a successful guitar repair business, and I'm going to give that to you right now. Okay, so I'm going to give you exactly what customers value. And now, how did I come up with this information? I looked at tons and tons of reviews of guitar repair shops, not only mine, but other repair shops, and I looked at what customers were saying in their reviews. So I got on a granular level and I looked at what customers were saying, and I came up with the top 4 things that customers value. And after we understand this stuff, then we'll be able to craft messages and craft offers that'll match up with what our customers want, which allows us to get more customers. So, guitar feels good, that the guitar is playing better after they left the shop, after they dropped the guitar off. They actually got what they paid for. That was the number 1 thing that customers want. So about half the time, if they were happy and they left a review, they said that their guitar was doing good, it was better off than it was before. The second thing that customers value was speed and a fast turnaround. 43% mentioned speed and fast turnaround as far as something that they valued. At least that's what they mentioned in the review. Number 3, reasonable cost. So if somebody left a review and they were impressed with the business, reasonable cost, 17% of the time is what they said. And then responsiveness, 16% of the time. So that's just how fast that you answer your emails and answer the phone, stuff like that. So I'll go back through those. Guitar feels good, so the guitar actually plays better than whenever it came in. Number 2 is speed and a fast turnaround is what customers were looking for. Number 3 was a reasonable cost. 17% of the time people mentioned that in their review. And then number 4 was responsiveness. So just answering the phone and just showing up on email. And now once we know all of those things, then we can start to craft an irresistible offer. And what I mean by irresistible offer is it'll have components of each and every one of these things. So number one, like if you want to call out that you're doing good work and the guitar feels good, the first thing you should say is talk about that customer's pain points. So you can talk about, does your guitar have high action right now? Does it hurt your fingers to play your guitar? Did you just buy a new guitar and it doesn't play very well? So then you can then position yourself as the solution. Here at Nova Guitar Setups, I specialize in new guitar setups, and I'll have that guitar playing with low action and as little buzz as I possibly can, something like that. So that's how you can kind of conquer that guitar feels good in your messaging. You can touch on speed and fast turnaround. I offer a 1 to 2 day turnaround on all my services. Usually 1 to 2. If I have to order some parts, it might be 3-day turnaround, but you can also have that in your messaging and have that in your offer. That is going to be a very, very powerful message to get in there. If you use my services, I'll have your guitar back to you in 1 to 2 days. So that's what players want. Reasonable cost. You can also say, I'm 20% less than the guy down the road, or you can run some specials, but you can show them, you can illustrate to them that your business is cheaper than your competitors, or that they're going to get a deal whenever they're coming to you. And then responsiveness, just be there whenever they call, and whenever they send an email, you got to be on top of it. You want to get back to them. I try to get back to my emails within 30 minutes of calling. So that way, if they're shopping for different places, like if they've emailed different shops and they email me, I'll be the first one to respond. So that's how I operate like that. If you know what customers want, so you can make your menu up, you can figure out your training, you can buy all your tools, you can really tool your shop just to what customers want, what they're looking for all the time. And then if you know what they're valuing in their services, you can really make them happy. And happy customers are going to be referring customers. They're going to send other customers your way. They're going to come back to you more than once. And that's what's going to build your business sustainably. So that's how you start your business. And this is the foundation. Knowing what customers want, go back and grab that workbook. You'll get the top 6 services that customers ask for most of the time, 98% of the time. So download that. And then this right here is a game changer. You got to get good at the services that they want. Get the workbook and you can learn that. You got to be reasonably fast with their turnaround, or at least that's what they're looking for. And you can compete with other people in town by offering a faster turnaround if they're slower. That happens in my town a lot. Reasonable cost. If people in your town are very expensive, you can be slightly cheaper than they are. Or you can offer people deals. Like I offer, if somebody brings in 3 or more guitars, I give them a 10% discount. And that's very attractive to a lot of my customers because they have large collections. And then responsiveness. You want to be on top of your game. You don't want that customer to go shopping around. So if they send you an email, go ahead and jump on it. Okay, that's all I've got to tell you guys. Go back and watch video 1 if you have any questions on that, and go ahead and grab that workbook. Like and follow if you want to see the next video. I'll be coming out with rule number 3, and I'll be doing all sorts of videos coming up on the tools that you use as a successful guitar repair business. I'm going to talk about just the tools that you need, and we'll demonstrate some of them, and none of the tools that you don't need. So that's a problem here on YouTube and on the internet, is people just, I always thought that they were just out there trying to sell you tools. So not going to do that. Come to you with a really good channel so that you can really learn how to do this stuff in a sustainable way. So I'll see you in the next episode. And thanks for watching. Leave me some comments down below if you guys have any questions, especially, or if you have anything that you want to see in upcoming videos. If you want me to cover something, just comment down there and I'll pick it up. All right, you guys have a good week. See you next week.